And she goes, oh, like, then we got a little bit of battle. Now, I'm going to show you also a way to get out of this, because it's very easy to say, yeah, you know what? They get really mad, you get them angry and riled up, and then, you know, somehow you turn it around. But no one ever really tells you that somehow, do they? It was just like, just have tight game, and then it'll turn around. All right? I gotta tell you, I ran the tightest game I knew how, and it was not turning around. All that happened, the girl would just get mad at me. And I go, well, I guess my game wasn't tight. Like, didn't really know. So here's how to get around. Rile her up. Say something, you know, get her mad. She's gonna come back at you. She's gonna say something to you, right? You're gonna say something back. You're gonna get mad at her again, banter back. She's gonna banter at you. You're feeling the tension rise. You're almost in each other's faces now, right? It's getting to the point where you know she's about to walk away if you take it to that next level. And right at that point, you go, oh my God, you're awesome. That is sick. Like, you are fucking confident. I give you points. You're a ballsy girl. And she'd be like, damn right I am. I'd be like, yeah, you're awesome, hug. And just start hugging her. Just be like, that's cool. You just reward her, and you reframe her bantering with you and her being negative with you as a positive quality trait that she has. She's not gonna say, no, I'm not, I suck. Like, she's not gonna say that. All right? She's going to agree with that frame, and all of a sudden, this tension that she was feeling, this in face, turns into attraction. It turns into, okay, cool, this guy's coming my shit. Let her have that small victory, and you will win the war. Anytime I want you guys to try that and let me know how that works for you. As soon as you feel like it's really riled up, this girl's like in my face, like, oh, if I say the next thing, like, the only thing, like, the moment I found this out, I was talking to the girl, and I said something about it, whatever. And she goes, yeah, well, you're ugly. And I'm like, yeah, well, your face is ugly. And she goes, whatever, fat ass. All right? Now, I can amp this up and go, okay, slut, little whore slut. You know, I mean, I could, at this point, it's tough, right? And I was realizing, that was my move. I could say this. I could take it to the next step level, but I know she's going to slap me and walk away. So I was really tempted. I was about to say it, and then something sparked to me, and I'm just like, you're awesome. You stand up for yourself. That's really cool. And then she immediately smiles. She goes, yeah, I am. And I'm like, oh, you get a hug. And then she's like all happy with me. Sickest thing, I want you guys to experience this for yourself. It really is weird. All right, so let's put it all together. Okay, I went through a lot of different commandments with you guys. First thing is, what does this have in common? Prevent if possible. Nothing is going to substitute for doing things right from the start. We never want to really rely on intervention tactics, but we want to know it's there. Same thing with LMR, right? What's the best way to deal with LMR? It's to not get it. To do everything right so that it doesn't happen in the first place. Same thing with this. The next thing is, don't react. You don't see it, you don't mention it, you don't notice it, it doesn't exist. Anything she does is positive. And it comes down to you also. It's a mental thing that goes in your head. If I come up to a girl and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Let's say some standard easy opener. Hey, how's it going? She goes, oh, I'm fine. You're going to look at that, right? Can you transition off of that? The girl goes, oh, I'm doing fine. You think, smile, like, oh, really? Me too, girl. You know, so what have you been doing all day? Like, you're just going to feel happy about it. You're going to be, okay, I can work with this. But what if she says this? I'm doing fine. Right? She looks at you and be like, oh, shit. Right? You're just going to go, okay, cool. You know, I was just wondering, you know. Like, you're immediately going to feel like you don't have that backup reaction. You're going to be like, oh, my God, indifference. Oh, my God, bad reaction. And you feel this, like, shy away feeling. It just comes on top of you. While if she's all smiling, like, hey, I'm doing fine, you're immediately going to be like, oh, I can run this. I'm in state now. You have to battle that. Even when she gives you the, I'm doing fine, you got to stay, keep it. You got to stay and act as if she said it in a really positive way. You don't see the IODs. You're retarded to them. All right? You literally just don't see them. In the back of your mind, you know, but it doesn't faze you. You're emotionally unreactive. Next is plow and bait. She's giving you nothing. She's literally a wall. I can talk to a wall. How? I taught you. Commandment 3. Remember this. Just keep talking. Plow with it, and every time you get, just bait her. Get a little bit more. Get a little bit more. Intrigue. Social trap questions. Receptive girl. All these things to try to get her to now talking to you and making conversation happen. And finally, don't be gamey. Now, this should just go of its own accord. It's one of the biggest things I've seen. I've seen girls really attracted to guys after projecting a good, confident vibe, and they're just doing nothing that, you know, pick-up-y. And all of a sudden, they'll use some like routine line they heard, and they get in this really like gamey like expression and mode, and I can see the attraction just drop right off. And you guys are thinking, but I learned the school line. Like, how, like, why? That doesn't make sense. But this is what happens. It's especially true if a girl's being indifferent. If she said, because what is gaming? Gaming means you want something from her, right? If you feel a person wants something from you, your natural inclination is to back up, just get away. Get away. Dude, give me 20 bucks. Come on, just give me 20 bucks. Just give me, right? You immediately just like, no, I don't want to, right? What you want to do in this case is, I'm here talking to you for my own self. That's where you get ideas of self-amusement. That's where you get those ideas of giving value. I don't want anything from you. I'm just here to have a good time, you know? Nothing from you guys. So avoid that altogether. Now, my question to you. This is a valid question. Don't laugh. This is a valid question. Is it worth it? I'll explain why. Because if you're going to go out and do what I did those last 4 years, my obsession here, you're going to get rejected a lot. All right? You think it's hard now. It takes it to a whole nother level. You're going to have to deal a real difficult journey ahead of you. And like that great movie, The Girl Next Door said, is the juice worth the squeeze? How bad do you want it? Because I see two types of guys in this community. On the one hand, I see guys who get marginal success, they get something, and then they just stop pushing themselves, they stop going through that pain period. And anyone who's been in this for a while knows what I mean by that pain period. That hopeless feelings, that dealing with rejection after night, right? And it gets to a point where it's like, do I really want to keep dealing with that bullshit? Or do I want to just keep getting the kind of girls I'm getting? Just more, right? More of them, or just faster. I'll just get it faster. I'll pull them in right off the bat and just do it, you know? Think about it, and it makes sense, because those kind of guys, they get rewarded more often. It comes off easier. They get look more like the man, but they never grow. They never get what they came in here for. It's a very easy trap to fall into. It's a very good beginner, intermediate trap. Then I have the other guys who constantly push themselves forward, who will see that player's dilemma. This girl's low quality, but she's down. This girl's really high quality, there's only a small chance. And they will take that again and again. That's what I did. But when you take that and you roll that dice again and again, you get rejected a lot more. You have to deal with it over and over and over again. You're going to have to deal with not getting frequent results in. That's not an easy path to take. But I will say this, the juice is worth the squeeze. I promise you. If you go through that pain period, if you push yourself through this, it can literally be one of the most rewarding experiences of your life. And not even that what's happening is like, oh, this is the most amazing, this is so cool. The real rewarding experience is when you look back and you remember that little guy that was on the brink of suicide, was on seeing tons of psychologists, who came from a really dark place to now feeling completely fulfilled, to blessing every day he has, to living an adventurous lifestyle that just did not seem possible before. It chokes you up inside. It literally is one of the most powerful feelings you can have, seeing a transformation to that level. That's the journey I went through. That's what I was able to achieve for myself. And that's what I strive for every day to achieve for every one of you. All right, I'm Jared, guys. Thank you for your time.